So that was something I really liked about this program is I went to the gym like not at all and occasionally did walks and still got the results I was looking for, which was like mind blowing.
Hello my honeys, it is Emmy. Welcome to today's video. If you're new to the channel, hey, I'm Emmy. I'm a nutritionist and I'm the creator of the Slim on Starch program, where you work with me, your mindset coach and your nutrition coach, so that you can lose weight on a plant-based, starch-based diet while not counting calories, not feeling restricted, and just having it be simple, easy, taken care of. You're all good. So if you're interested in that, go ahead and click the link in the down bar or just go to healthyemmie.org. Also, make sure that you hit subscribe, you turn on the notification bell so that you can be notified every time I'm uploading a new video, which is every Wednesday and Saturday. This is part 2 of my interview with my client, Amanda. If you haven't seen part 1 yet, go ahead and watch part 1. In part 2, we're talking about why is it that Amanda and I decided to keep working together, because she was well on her way. When she first came to me, she said, I want to lose maybe 5 or 10 pounds, nothing too crazy. She ended up losing 30 pounds through the course of our work together. And so I asked her, what was it that made you want to keep going? And you'll go ahead and hear what she says and why she continues to dedicate herself to this lifestyle, even though she really has got this. She's got it figured out. So we talk about some of the mindset shifts that she had, the things that she discovered that she didn't even realize that she needed to discover, and how our relationship and having the support and having just people with you is something that's so invaluable, and it really has contributed to her tremendous success. We also talk about Amanda's new mindset around food and embracing simplicity, how she views junk food now, how she thinks about going out and eating socially. You know, she says, I'm a people pleaser and it's something that's difficult for me. And also she and her significant other and her friends, they like to go out to breweries and drink beers. She's cool. I'm not. I'm a loser. I don't drink. But she has learned how to maintain that as a part of her lifestyle as well. And so if you are social, this is definitely going to be a good listen for you. So let's get into it.
The reason why we do something is because either the cost of what we used to be doing is too high, or the benefit of what we're doing now is very, very great. So what is it for you?
You know, I saw more and more benefit every week I went through the program. Again, I started not with crazy goals, just like, Emmy, help me lose a little bit of weight. I want to stay healthy. I want to just more in general, like I just want to have energy to, play with my puppy. And, it wasn't anything crazy. I just wanted to feel good and lose a little bit of weight because I just felt like I was getting to a point where I just wasn't happy with that. And so that's kind of where it started. But every week I went through, I was just like, wow, I feel like I've never felt this good. Like the weight I'm at now, I never really weighed myself much in high school or college, but I can't imagine I've been this weight since I was like 18, 19. So, which it wasn't necessarily my goal. Like my goal was to lose a little bit of weight, but I was just like, wow, I feel so amazing. And I feel so much lighter and healthier that I was like, I didn't realize I could feel and or look like this. I just spent so many years kind of losing and gaining the same 5 to 10 pounds and feeling good, but not like amazing. So I just started realizing that, it was that aspect of feeling good and feeling like I was looking better, but also just the mindset aspect of my relationship a little bit with food, because I already had a relatively good relationship with food, but also just the social aspect of food and learning all about that. It just, every week I went through it, I learned something different about myself or felt better or looked better, or just every week there was sort of like a new reason why I wanted to keep doing it. There were certainly times that I was like, well, I'm just going to have a couple chips at this barbecue. And there were times that I would do things like that. But for the most part, I was like ready to have just a healthy meal as soon as I got home or the next day. I mean, I never really felt like I just wanted to be done. I just always felt like, well, that was good and I let myself do that, but I'm going to feel better tomorrow, or I don't feel as good now that I made that choice. So now I feel even more committed to having something healthier tomorrow because I know that'll make me feel good.
Let's talk about the things that you learned, because it sounds like, you learned probably just a lot of knowledge, but also a lot about yourself and what you're capable of. So why don't we talk about the things that you learned and what has changed and how your mindset has changed and whatever that means to you. I'll let you take it.
Yeah, I mean, I would say the main thing just goes back to some of the people pleasing, but just making decisions because I know now what will make me feel better than choices I made before was just like, well, that sounds really good right now in this moment, as opposed to decisions I make now are more based on, well, how is this going to make me feel after I eat it? But then also, how is this going to make me feel tomorrow? Am I going to wish that I had made a different decision for my long-term goals or short-term goals? And also, I just feel like my tastes have changed too. I'll have like something that's not as healthy and it just is too sweet or too salty or too something, and I'm just wishing I had, a nice sweet potato instead.
Music to my ears. And it's not like, and correct me if I'm wrong, but it sounds like you have incredible self-awareness now. You're really able to look at the actions that you're engaging in and stepping back and saying, how is this going to make me feel? Does this help me reach my goals? And really being very good at analyzing those and making a decision based on that.
Yeah, I definitely feel like that's a skill I've learned or honed or whatever. And I just, think the longer I've gone through this, the more I've been able to look critically at the decisions I'm making and why I make them and how they affect me.
Mm. You noted that simplicity has been something that's really been key for you. Do you want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, I didn't realize how much that was going to make a difference because you talk about your kiss meals and keeping things simple. I just started making the kiss meals and they're so something, I don't know, it clicked for me. Maybe some people love recipes and maybe it's just a personal thing, but I could just steam some potatoes in a batch of potatoes and then have potatoes to put in the air fryer for the rest of the week. And I just had, a big bag of broccoli and I could just steam what I needed for the rest of the week. And it just made life so much easier for me. And that's one of the things in the past where I was like, oh, I'm going to eat healthier. So I like buy a healthy vegan cookbook, but then everything had like 30 ingredients and and I'm just maybe lazy, but also just I like to keep things simple. I like, I consider myself a little bit of an aspiring minimalist. I just do so much better if I can just be like, oh, there's my potato and there's my broccoli, or there's, maybe a little sriracha and done. Like that just makes more sense to me and is easier for me. And once I kind of learned, okay, like portion wise, I need about this percentage to the, like, just kind of making it instead of just, oh, I'll just eat a bunch of broccoli because that sounds good, or a bunch of potatoes, kind of learning how to put all of that together, but knowing that I could just keep it really simple and I didn't have to like spend all day Sunday, like making a bunch of meals. That to me, I tried that before and I can't do it. I don't like it. I'd rather be out at the farmer's market on Sunday morning, buying tomatoes and potatoes instead of cooking all day. It just never worked for me. It was never my thing. I know people that love it, but I just couldn't do it and I couldn't stick to it. And just finding the way to build my meals the way that I liked them and helped me meet my goals. And it just made life so easy.
And I mean, you have the most beautiful meals on earth. And so if I was making kiss meals that looked like yours, then I would be doing kiss meals all the live long day. I'll insert some photos of what Amanda's meals look like right now, but it's hard for me to even look through your meal journal because it makes me feel bad about how ugly my meals are, because yours are truly so beautiful. They've been featured on my Instagram. They're just incredible. So a lot of people get to this point, Amanda, and they lose the weight and then it's kind of like, well, now what? And they're like, okay, I've been struggling with this forever. And so now I don't even, what else is there? So what are you working toward right now in terms of your health?
Yeah, and actually, I think it was last week when I was putting together notes, we were going to have a call, and I was like, what do you think I should do? Should I have a weight loss goal? Should I, I was feeling a little, I don't know, confused about what that goal should be, because I think I think I felt like I needed to have a goal. Whereas I think realistically, I was sort of like, well, I'm feeling good eating this way. So if my body keeps losing weight, that's fine with me. But that's not really my goal anymore. Um, and I think I wasn't sure if I could just be like, hey, Emmy, I don't know if I want to lose weight or not. Like, I don't know. I just felt like I needed to do that. And so that was kind of a good conversation we had about, oh, it's okay to not have that as a goal. And that's kind of just where I'm feeling now is whatever my body wants to do. I mean, within reason and obviously staying healthy. But I think the thing that's keeping me motivated to keep going, regardless of the scale, is it just comes back to overall health for me. And again, that's short term and long term. I just know I feel a little bit better. I'm not, bloated. I don't wake up with, an acne outbreak. Like, things that are short term, like, well, I don't really want to have that, whatever vegan cupcake, because it's going to taste good, but I'm not going to really feel as good after I eat it. I'm going to be tired. I'm going to be, I don't know, not sleep as well or whatever it is, depending on what the food is. So now it's just sort of, I'm making the decisions based on how I know I'll feel, and just, paying attention to eating when I'm actually hungry, and just focusing on things that keep me feeling good as opposed to keep me losing weight. So if my body wanted to lose a little more weight, that's fine. If it doesn't, that's fine.
I could not agree with you more. Something that I heard recently, which was almost news to me, I'm so embarrassed to admit, but is that time is meant to be enjoyed. And I'm very much a victim of, or not even a victim, I do it to myself, of always having to work on the next thing and always just being productive and trying to do more and create more. And we're supposed to enjoy life. What's the point of getting health if you're always looking for the next level of health and the next thing, and I'm going to lose more weight? It's like, well, you're healthy so that you can enjoy being healthy. And
Mm-hmm.
so I'm completely aligned with you on that, Amanda, to just be in a place where you're like, I lost the weight, I've learned a lot, and I'm probably going to keep learning. And I really just want to enjoy it and be able to work with my body over the next few months and see what happens and learn more. But you seem so relaxed and just open to whatever's going to happen next.
Yeah. And I think the other thing is, I really liked your analogy of the onion of health.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, we could all be bikini models, but I, don't necessarily want to eat the way that would maybe turn my body into bikini model body. Like, I want to enjoy it. I want to have fun, but I also know what makes me feel good and doesn't make me feel good. So it's sort of like, I don't want to be, my goal is not to be the like pinnacle of health where it's like you have to strip everything away and be super, strict about everything. I think that would make me feel a little antisocial. It would make me feel like I can't, have even the little bits of leniency when I want to do things or when I want to eat something. Whereas now I'm at the point where I don't want to be at the outer edge where I'm just eating nachos and potato chips all day, but I also don't want to be eating like nothing, and I don't want to be counting calories, and I don't want to be doing anything crazy. So I like taking that onion apart and finding the layer that I feel the best at, like physically, but also mentally, socially. So that analogy really helped me be like, yeah, I could always tune things a little more and do a little more, but my goal, my job is not as a Victoria's Secret model. So I think I'm okay finding a weight that feels good to me and finding a lifestyle that feels best to me.
That was so well said. Truly, that was so eloquently put. And thank you for saying that, because I think you said it a lot better than how I could say it. And it's important for us to realize who we are as people, what our jobs are, what our family looks like, how much time we have in the day. Are you an athlete, or this, that, the other? And understanding what is practical for you and what makes you the happiest. And
Mm-hmm.
we shouldn't, if one part of your life is taking up so much space, maybe that's not the best thing, because we only have so much energy. We only have so much to give. And if your job or your relationship or your kids or your diet or your exercise is taking up so much that there isn't room for anything else, then that might be an issue. And so I think for the people watching that can get very down on themselves if they don't eat perfectly, or if their diet doesn't look like somebody else's, we're all our own people. And just like you said about the onion, we can sort of find where's best for us to lie and know that we have the tools to go closer to the middle or closer to the outside, but just kind of find where you like to be most of the time. And where you are is not where you have to be for the rest of your life.
Yeah, I like that a lot. And then the other thing I wanted to mention is, in the past, really, it kind of changed mainly because of the pandemic, is I used to work out, I don't know, maybe not a lot, but I would go to Orange Theory. So I would do like these HIIT workouts, and I enjoyed them and I felt good. But then the pandemic hit and I was working out at home, which was meaning I wasn't really working out. So I was used to going to the gym a lot. And then once everything kind of shifted to at home, I realized I was just kind of going for walks, maybe the occasional run or jog. And I started to realize I felt better in my body when I was doing that. And I would do some weights and some weight training occasionally, but I was feeling a lot better when I wasn't like hyper focused on, oh my gosh, how many days a week did I go to the gym this week? Did I do enough? Did I push myself hard enough? What were my stats? What were my numbers? What was my heart rate? Whereas it just felt a little bit less pressure to be like, well, I took the dog for a walk this morning. And then later on, I did like a 15-minute online yoga class. And I realized my body felt better. I might not be, I don't know, as strong, or I'm not sure, but I like the way I look. I like the way I feel. And it was just way less stressful. And so you and I have kind of talked about that, because there's been times when I was like, well, I don't know, I feel kind of guilty because I used to work out a lot and now I don't, at least not in the same sense. So that was something I really liked about this program, is I went to the gym, like not at all, and occasionally did walks and still got the results I was looking for, which was like mind blowing.
And you wouldn't have known that if you didn't try. So I think there's very much kudos to be given to you for being willing to do that. And just because one way works doesn't mean that all the other ways don't work.
Mm-hmm.
We sort of believe that. So if you come from a background of always doing wicked hard, intense exercise, and it's kept you lean or kept you athletic, whatever it is, you sort of think, well, it has to be that way, because if that's the way it is, then any other way can't work, because that's the way it is. And so I'm proud of you for being able to step back and be like, I'm going to try it a different way.
I hope that you guys enjoyed this one, and I'll see you in my next video.